We've all heard the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. I've heard it applied to actual books, as well as new experiences, even people. It's far too easy to make assumptions based on first impressions or appearances. Society shapes expectations and notions of what is beautiful, what is normal, or what is functional, and we are left subject to them. Today, with the kind of exposure we collectively have to the world's ideas, good and bad, through technology and hyperconnectivity, we are more vulnerable than ever to judgment and influence. For me, this has been made most clear as a female athlete. Picture an athlete in your head. What comes to mind? Do you think of a certain body shape? We've been programmed by our social media feeds and peers to draw a line between a certain body and a good athlete. Yes, even athletes can be subject to body image issues. In a study done on females in sports, 60% of athletes reported pressures concerning body shape. Athletes in leanness-focused sports, where there is a pressure to be a certain weight or build, reported even higher levels of body dissatisfaction and risk for eating disorders. Form can certainly follow function. More muscular thighs that will propel you when you jump up into the air to hit the volleyball. As a swimmer, my broader shoulders allow me to pull more water and move through the water quicker. But my shoulders alone don't make me a good athlete. Why do we believe athletes without the stereotypical build cannot perform as well? Athletes, myself included, struggle over these kinds of body image issues, leading us to obsess over our appearance instead of prioritizing our performance. They can be a barrier to performing well and accomplishing our goals. I started swimming at a very young age, when I didn't even know what body image was. I didn't pay attention to what others looked like. I was focused on going to practice and doing what my coach told me. At races, I would just focus on doing well. As the years went by, I started to notice others' appearances more. I would look at my friends and be like, wow, they're a lot taller than me, or their legs aren't as skinny as mine. It didn't bother me much, except they were getting faster. I didn't wonder if there was a connection at the time. I put in the work, and for me, that was all that mattered. It was around the time I was entering middle school when people started to point out things. I had been swimming for multiple years by then, and my body was changing. Being in a suit, everyone saw everything. Couldn't hide my skinnier arms or legs. Some of my friends that weren't involved in sports would tell me they wished they were as skinny as me, or that I was lucky to be so skinny. What they may have meant to be a compliment only made me doubt myself. Some of my friends assumed I didn't eat, but I did. I ate to fuel my body, and my doctor told me I was very healthy. As athletes, especially female athletes, we have been held to a higher standard. We must look a certain way that allows us to be competitive, but also deemed attractive. In a study, among college female athletes, a study done by Psychology Today showed that 35% and 38% of those assessed were at risk for anorexia and bulimia nervosa. Although male college athletes said they felt less weight-related pressures, almost the same amount were at risk for bulimia nervosa. Those that were at risk for anorexia were quite less, only about 9%. As susceptible as we are to injury, we are just as much at risk for eating disorders and unhealthy eating habits. The root of this cause? Feeling like we need to look a certain way to perform well. One day, in 7th grade art class, volunteers were needed to help bring in some art supplies. When I raised my hand, I was doubted and questioned. Are you sure you can do it? I was asked multiple times. They're really heavy, was all I heard. What made them believe I wouldn't be able to lift the heavy boxes? Was it because I was skinnier than the others that had volunteered? It was a turning point, and it made me so frustrated the way they judged me and thought it was okay to assume so much from just my body looked. I wanted to show others that my appearance had nothing to do with my abilities. I wanted to prove them wrong. The thing with sports, team sports at least, is that you work together, you push each other, and you cheer your teammates on. No one will tell you that you look different. They don't even care. At least none of my teammates did. Instead, it was my coach. You would always hear her cheering you on, pushing you to run faster. She believed in all of us. But the minute I told her I was also swimming during the cross-country season, everything changed. You could see her face change, disappointment, and a sort of mocking face set in. But you can't do that. You're too skinny to swim and run. Now I know that might not sound like much, but for someone who had always thought herself capable or never had a coach comment on her body, it was like a slap to the face. I was hurt. She was supposed to push me and cheer me on. Yet here she was telling me I wasn't the right shape for an athlete. Instead of letting it bring me down too much, I took it as a challenge. I actually made varsity and earned my spot as a top athlete on the team. But it also made me aware of something I'd never focused on or given much thought to. It gave me a reason to question my appearance and my abilities. Cody Miller, gold medal Olympian, once said, "It didn't take winning a gold medal for me to love myself or appreciate the way that I looked. It was just recognizing that there's nothing wrong with looking a little different." Miller's words hit close to home because one of the biggest parts of my journey was realizing that there was nothing wrong with my body just because I looked different. You need to believe in yourself first before others can. When I went out there and showed myself that I could do it, it also showed my coach that just because I looked different, that didn't mean there's something wrong with me. No one is going to look the same. They may have similar qualities, but every body is different. Self-love and body positivity is a journey. From this and other experiences, I've learned to ground myself in the sport and channel those thoughts of doubt and judgment into the race. Happiness does not come from acceptance, and I don't need other people telling me I'm not a good athlete because I don't look like one. It was like a catapult, an explosion really. When my coach had that talk with me, it wasn't the first time I thought about my body negatively, but it set off all these body image issues. Body positivity. Everyone's body is perfect just the way it is. We deserve to have a positive body image no matter our size or shape. Appearance doesn't determine ability, and my body should not be down upon because of the way it looks. When we feel good about our bodies, we can focus on what is more important. When athletes develop bad eating habits or even eating disorders, they aren't able to perform their best because their bodies just aren't in the best shape. Their mental health comes crashing down when they don't perceive their body in a positive light and believe that there's something wrong with it. Dear society, your expectations for how I should look as an athlete are unhealthy and hurt me. You want me as a female athlete to be slim, but too slim, and I'm not good enough. I felt as if I needed to please you, which caused me to doubt myself. I've learned that the most important thing is to go out there and show myself that I can do it. And soon others will realize it doesn't matter what I look like. As I work on my self-image and loving my body, I look to the good. I think of my accomplishments. I've worked hard and pushed myself to perform my best. 2 hours of swimming every day for the past 10 years. 2 hours of running every day for 3 months straight. If my body couldn't handle it, it would tell me. But sometimes, during my races, I will start wondering if people notice my skinnier arms and legs. In my spandex and tank, people can see all my insecurities. Do they see me and think I can't do it? Do they see me struggling and immediately make a connection between that and my appearance? The thing with body image is we never know who's struggling with it. What we can do as friends, family members, and just strangers is be kind to everyone you meet. If you know someone who's struggling, be someone that they can talk to. Oftentimes, a reminder of your accomplishments and what matters most can really help. Society, you're to blame for the toxic standards imposed on everyone. Shouldn't you be held accountable for finding a solution? Changing the way we perceive others starts today with you and me. Thank you.